a scorching July morning in Florida, the blazing sun poured down on the roads leading to Tampa International Airport. People assumed it would be just another ordinary day, where flights departed as usual and reunions and farewells unfolded like countless times before. Yet amid that seemingly peaceful setting, a horrifying discovery shook the entire city. The body of a young woman was found in a deserted service area, less than half a mile from the runway, a place almost no one ever went. She lay there, silent, as if she had simply paused to rest in the sweltering heat, only to never wake again. When her identity was revealed, social media erupted. She was Mia Bennett, 23 years old, a rapper and influencer with over 1 million Instagram followers, a name once known for bold rap verses, lavish travels, and the image of a rising star, steadily carving out her place in the spotlight. Just a week earlier, Mia had appeared radiant in a white dress, a glass of wine in hand, her smile glowing on the balcony of a Tampa hotel, with a single-word caption, "Fleeting." No one imagined it would be the last message she left to the world.
Yeah, mommy! Oh, the hair flip. Sexy mama. Mama, follow me outside. Damn, mommy.
The final 20 hours before Mia was found remain a haunting void. No security cameras, no phone, no wallet, no luggage. Her trip to Tampa with no announced performances, no disclosed appointments, still hangs beneath a cloud of unanswered questions. Why did she come? Who was she meeting? Or was she running from something? Before we trace every clue in this case, if you're drawn to chilling stories, unsolved mysteries, and the lessons hidden behind the bright lights of social media, hit like, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment telling me where you're watching from. Your support will help us continue bringing you cases that send shivers down the world's spine. Mia Bennett was born on the 13th of October, 2000, in Philadelphia, a city of bustling streets, vivid graffiti murals, and a hip-hop culture pulsing through every beat of life. She grew up in a family that wasn't wealthy but was full of love. Her mother, Tanya Bennett, was always described as a resilient woman, both the emotional anchor of the family and the quiet supporter behind every dream her daughter pursued. Her father worked for a local transportation company, while Mia's only brother, Marcus, was the first to cheer her on as she stepped onto the stage during small school performances. From her high school years, Mia lived between two worlds. One of ordinary routines filled with homework, friends, and late-night snacks after class. And another, where she held up an old phone, recording her very first videos for Instagram. At 15, Mia adopted the stage name Petty Levels, a name she once explained carried a touch of humor, a bit of rebellion, and the uncompromising bluntness of youth. At first, her videos revolved around school life, friendships, and small stories of teenage romance. But it was her humor and her boldness in saying what others were afraid to that carried the name Petty Levels beyond the walls of her school and into neighborhoods all across Philadelphia. By the time she was 18, Mia was no longer a small name. She began befriending other influencers, joining fashion shoots, and collaborating with young rappers in the city. A year later, as social media exploded with new trends, Mia seized every opportunity to build her personal brand. She made comedy videos, shared glimpses of her life, and posted original rap tracks, all carrying a sense of authenticity, free from pretense. Friends described Mia as a strong young woman, always full of energy, yet someone who knew how to listen. She never chased a glamorous, fabricated image, but preferred a sense of closeness and authenticity with her fans. Because of this, even with videos filmed in her bedroom, no professional lighting, no production team, her following grew at a staggering pace. By 2020, Mia had collaborated with artists like Fredo, Bang, and Lato, opening the door to a professional music career. Mia's relationship with her family was always close. She often posted photos with her mother and brother, sharing everyday moments like cozy family dinners or short trips back home. Family was the place she returned to whenever the stage lights and the glare of social media grew too bright. However, the more famous Mia became, the more new faces appeared in her life. Friends from the entertainment world, music producers, entrepreneurs seeking collaborations. And it was from here that her life gradually turned down a different path, where the spotlight and the shadows began to intertwine. For someone with over 1 million followers like Mia Bennett, every post, every photo was scrutinized closely. Fans were used to seeing a cheerful, bold young woman who often shared funny videos or spontaneous rap clips full of personal style. Yet, just weeks before the tragedy, people began noticing subtle but undeniable changes in the way Mia presented herself to the public. On the 5th of July, 2024, Mia posted a series of photos from a recording studio in Philadelphia. She wrote, "Cooking up something special for y'all. Summer anthem loading." At the time, no one realized it would be one of her last posts, expressing genuine excitement about music, the very thing that had propelled her name to new heights. 3 days later, she appeared at Philadelphia International Airport, boarding a flight to Tampa, Florida, but never revealed the purpose of her trip. No scheduled performances, no fan meetups. Everything was completely silent. During her days in Tampa, Mia continued posting photos from a luxury hotel evenings by the pool, cocktails glowing under soft lights. But her presence began to fade. From someone who posted almost daily, Mia started to grow unusually quiet. On the 14th of July, she posted a single photo of the Tampa sky at sunset. No caption, no context. Then, on the 16th of July, she wrote, "Looking back at everything I've built, grateful for the journey." The message moved many fans who believed she was simply reflecting on her career. But just 2 days later, everything fell into a chilling silence. On the 17th of July, her final photo appeared. Mia stood on the hotel balcony in a white dress, the evening sun casting shadows across her face, half in light, half in shade. Beneath the image, just a single word: fleeting. At the time, no one realized that this brief caption was the quiet prelude to an irreversible tragedy. When talking about the Mia Bennett case, no one can ignore the final hours before she vanished. It was during this stretch of time that countless theories, rumors, and debates began to take root and have never truly stopped. On the 18th of July, 2024, staff at the hotel where Mia had been staying confirmed that she checked out around 10 a.m. She was alone, carrying no large luggage, just a small crossbody bag slung over her shoulder. She ordered a rideshare directly to Tampa International Airport. The driver later told police that Mia remained silent throughout the ride. No phone calls, no texts, just staring out the window, as if lost in her own thoughts. The app's GPS data showed her destination as the airport's main terminal. This only strengthened the assumption that Mia was preparing to leave Tampa, either to return to Philadelphia or travel to another city. But just a few hours later, all traces of her suddenly stopped. There was no flight information under the name Mia Bennett. No airport cameras captured her checking in, passing through security, or boarding any plane. Even more strange, on the night of the 17th of July, just hours after her final post with the word fleeting, Mia made a phone call to her mother in Philadelphia. The call lasted less than 2 minutes. To this day, the contents of that conversation remain undisclosed. Her family has stayed silent, and police have not released details, only stating that the call data has been collected as part of the investigation. From 11 a.m. on the 18th of July to 7:30 the next morning, when Mia's body was found less than half a mile from the airport, everything seemed to vanish off the map. No witnesses reported seeing her leave the main terminal. No security cameras captured any movement. Her phone, wallet, and identification, everything was gone. It was this window of time that fueled growing suspicion. Some believed Mia left the airport willingly to meet someone unknown. Others speculated she had been lured to a different location, and many were convinced something happened to her right there at the airport, but somehow every trace had been wiped clean. When news broke that Mia's luggage and phone couldn't be found, social media exploded with theories. Some claimed she had deliberately disappeared to start a new life. Others believed she had fallen victim to some kind of conspiracy. But all of it remained speculation. Police found no concrete evidence to support any of the theories. The only thing certain was this: the final 20 hours of Mia Bennett's life had vanished from all records, leaving behind a void that no one could fill. On the morning of the 19th of July, 2024, a light mist still hung over the Tampa sky as an airport maintenance worker drove along a quiet service road, an area where only the sound of cicadas echoed and the wind swept through patches of dry grass on either side. He thought it would be just another routine shift checking drainage systems, clearing debris along the roadside, signing off a few forms to wrap up his round. But everything changed when his vehicle slowed near a cluster of bushes by a drainage ditch, less than half a mile from the terminal. At first, he assumed it was a homeless person sleeping, an image not uncommon near major airports. He called out a few times but got no response. A sense of unease made him step out of the vehicle, and only when he got closer did he discover the chilling truth. A young woman lay on her side, motionless, early sunlight casting a pale glow on her lifeless skin. There were no signs of life, no sound at all, except the wind hissing through a nearby chain-link fence. He called 911 immediately. Within minutes, the first police cruiser arrived, its red and blue lights flickering across small puddles left behind by the previous night's rain. The area was quickly sealed off with yellow crime scene tape stretched across the entrance. Emergency medical personnel confirmed that the victim had already passed away before they arrived. When investigator Maria Sanchez, who would later lead the case, stepped out of her vehicle, the scene before her was haunting. A young body, no visible blood, no signs of a struggle. The victim wore a white dress, her sandals still intact, hair tousled by the morning breeze. No purse, no phone, no identification. The forensics team arrived an hour later. They documented the scene meticulously, taking photographs, measuring distances, searching for foreign objects on the dry ground. But everything felt too clean, too undisturbed for a homicide. No strange footprints, no broken pieces, no drag marks. The young woman lay there as if she had simply collapsed and never woken up again. The victim's identity was confirmed by noon that same day when her fingerprints matched a passport record. She was Mia Bennett, a rapper and influencer with over 1 million followers on Instagram. The news spread like wildfire. Within hours, from Tampa to Philadelphia, from local news outlets to global social media platforms, the name Mia Bennett dominated every headline. But the biggest question wasn't who she was. It was what happened. There were no visible injuries, no drugs or weapons at the scene, no surveillance footage capturing her final moments. The initial report from the Tampa Police Department stated there were no clear signs of foul play, a statement that only deepened the public's confusion and unease. Fans began to comb through Mia's final posts. The photo captioned, "Fleeting," became the focal point of every theory. Some believed it was her farewell. Others were convinced she had gotten into trouble with someone in Tampa. Theories spread like wildfire, ranging from a secret relationship to rivalries in the entertainment world, but police confirmed none of them. The 20-hour gap between the moment Mia left the airport and when her body was discovered became a haunting void. Who met her during that time? Where did she go? And why did it all end in a desolate spot under the searing Florida sun? As Mia's body was taken in for autopsy, the entire city of Tampa seemed to fall under a thick fog of suspicion and unease. Someone out there knew what had happened, but that person remained silent. The moment Mia Bennett's identity was confirmed, social media erupted. Within hours, news of her death flooded every corner of the internet, from local Tampa outlets to national news channels. Thousands of comments poured in beneath her final Instagram post, where the word fleeting now echoed like a haunting farewell, a message too brief, too cryptic, and perhaps too real. Mia's family in Philadelphia received the devastating news through a phone call from the Tampa Police Department. Her mother, Tanya Bennett, at first believed it had to be a mistake. She had seen her daughter fight through hardships, watched her command stages in front of hundreds. Never had she imagined a day would come when she'd be told Mia was gone. So suddenly, so inexplicably, just hours later, the family released a brief statement. "We are deeply saddened by Mia's passing. She was the light of our family and of millions of fans. We ask that everyone please respect our privacy as we navigate this unimaginable grief." Meanwhile, the Tampa Police Department immediately launched an investigation. They reviewed surveillance footage around the airport, interviewed hotel staff, the rideshare driver who dropped Mia at the main terminal, and anyone who may have interacted with her in the final 24 hours. Yet, not a single clue revealed anything out of the ordinary. The phone, the one item that could potentially answer so many questions, was still missing. No luggage, no wallet, no passport. Everything seemed to have vanished along with the final 20 mysterious hours of Mia's life. Police stated they were awaiting the results of the autopsy and toxicology tests, but warned that it could take several weeks for full results to come in. The online community wasn't willing to wait weeks. Within a single night, countless theories flooded the internet. Some believed it was a targeted attack, others whispered about a conspiracy involving the music industry. There were even those who claimed Mia had left a cryptic message before choosing to vanish. None of these theories were backed by evidence. No suspects had been named. No clear narrative had been established. But that didn't stop the stories from spreading, stories that moved far faster and far louder than anything released by the authorities. And for her fans, grief turned into movement. They organized online vigils, lit up timelines with the hashtag #JusticeForMia, and began sharing her old songs, freestyle videos, and the vibrant, funny moments that had once made them fall in love with her spirit. Mia's music saw a surge, stream counts skyrocketed by hundreds of % within days. But it was a bitter irony. The brightest spotlight came only after she was gone. A million hearts were now echoing her voice, but hers had been silenced forever. In the early days, the investigation focused on three main angles: the people who had contacted Mia before she arrived in Tampa, her connections within the entertainment industry, and the individuals she encountered during this trip. Police questioned the driver who took Mia from the hotel to the airport on the 18th of July, reviewed all surveillance footage around the terminal, but found nothing suspicious. Public pressure kept mounting. Many began criticizing the police department for finding nothing, while rumors on social media grew more intense by the day. Some tabloid outlets pushed theories that Mia had been harmed by someone she knew in Tampa, based on unverified messages circulating online. In response, police were forced to bring in several individuals for questioning, including a musician who had attended a party with Mia just days before her death. But the turning point came when the forensics lab released the toxicology results. Traces of a high-dose sedative were found in Mia's bloodstream, a substance typically only prescribed and rarely present without medical oversight. This revelation immediately shifted the direction of the investigation. Mia's death was no longer categorized as undetermined. It was now potentially linked to foul play. Police returned to the hotel where Mia had stayed, this time reviewing every security camera and cross-checking the guest registry during her stay. That's when they discovered a man who had appeared at the front desk around the same time Mia was checking out. At first, he hadn't drawn any suspicion, he wasn't seen with her, and his behavior didn't raise alarms. But a deeper look into his credit card activity revealed something chilling. He had rented a vehicle just hours before Mia was last seen. Tracing the GPS data from the rented vehicle, investigators discovered that it had been in the vicinity of the service road where Mia's body was found. Traffic cameras confirmed this, capturing images of the same vehicle leaving the area in the early hours of the 19th of July. The man was immediately summoned for questioning. Under mounting evidence, the man confessed that he had met Mia through social media and had seen her a few times prior. He admitted to inviting her to a location near the airport for a private conversation, but insisted her death was an accident. However, the results from the extended toxicology report revealed that the dosage of sedatives found in Mia's bloodstream was multiple times higher than any therapeutic level, effectively dismantling his claim. Finally, after weeks of collecting evidence, police officially charged the man in connection with Mia Bennett's death. The trial stretched over several days, featuring testimonies from witnesses, forensic experts, and digital data analysts. The jury found him directly responsible for Mia's death, and a life sentence was handed down, bringing a somber end to the long, haunting chapter for her family and the millions who loved her. When the final verdict was delivered, no one in Mia's family felt it was a victory, because even though justice had spoken, the vibrant 2-3-year-old girl, so full of energy and dreams, would never return. The radiant photos on Instagram, the rap verses that once thrilled her fans, all of it now exists only as memories. Mia Bennett's death revealed the brutal gap between the glitter of social media and the harshness of real life. A status update that seemed harmless, a trip that seemed routine, a mysterious meeting, any of these can become the beginning of a tragedy. With over 1 million followers, Mia was known to the world, yet in her most critical moment, she was utterly alone. This case is a stark reminder that control is never a form of love, that social media is not a safe place to expose every dark corner of our lives, and that a breakup or personal conflict is never an excuse for someone to take another person's life. It also underscores the importance of paying attention to the smallest signs, a cryptic post, a short phone call, a shift in behavior, because sometimes those are silent cries for help. Mia Bennett is gone, but her story will live on as a haunting wake-up call. We must learn to walk away from toxic relationships, to trust our instincts, and most importantly, to never stay silent when we see someone showing signs of danger around them. And if this story made you think, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment letting me know where you're watching from. Your support helps us continue bringing you haunting cases that also carry powerful lessons for all of us.